Hello, welcome to episode 37 of the Epic Film Challenge 2 1,001 Movies You Must See Before You Die. Casablanca. One of the all-time greats. We saw this months and months ago, so some of the finer details aren't quite there, but that's just the way it is with this. I don't feel like we needed to rewatch it because we watched it a couple of months ago.
You could just watch the...
You could just watch our initial reaction during the 24-hour movie marathon 5 video, but very briefly, if you don't know, I mean, I didn't know, because it's such a... Everyone knows about Casablanca, right? You've heard... Well, if you haven't heard about the film, you've heard some of the lines. It's got the iconic...
Here's looking at you, kid.
Here's looking at you, kids. Play it again, Sam, which isn't actually the quote. I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. There's so many great lines in it, iconic moments. But I just knew of it as this great big film. And so we watched it, and I loved it. I thought it was great. I think you were surprised by how much you liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the story, again, if you don't know, is just very loosely off the top of my head, is that it's set in Casablanca, and it's during World War II, and they've kind of set Casablanca as this town where everyone's trying to get in, everyone's trying to get out, and there's all these characters, and it's all set around this bar owned by Humphrey Bogart's character, who he runs the bar, and there's all these people coming in and coming out. There's like the government, things like that, and there's lots of transactions going on, things like just shady business deals and things like that, and money exchanging hands as far as I can remember. But it's the story is about this woman who comes in, played by Ingrid Bergman, who's another kind of famous movie actress who I'd never seen in anything before. Swedish, yeah. And when she comes into the bar, that kind of changes everything, because Humphrey Bogart's character has a history with her, and he's very surprised to see her there. And the film goes from there, basically. It's a great cast. Claude Rains is great in the film. Got Peter Lorre playing a small part, and Humphrey Bogart was great. Ingrid Bergman was great. Even like the piano player Sam, I enjoyed him. And just
what was that song you played?
I forget what the song was called, but it was good. The one that she asked him to play again, and the lighting I loved. Just the way it looked, just that old kind of Hollywood feel. It just felt like such a Hollywood film. It was a Hollywood film. It was such a Hollywood film. Won a few Oscars, and it's just become, one of the great films of all time.
Classics.
Yeah, classics. It's held up there with like Citizen Kane and things like that, and I think rightfully so. Sometimes you get these films that have such a huge reputation that precedes them, and you watch them and you think, yeah, that was really good, but best of all time, probably not. This one, I wouldn't say Casablanca is a film that I would watch over and over and over again. I probably could, because I enjoyed it that much. But I wouldn't put it in there in my top favourites. But I do think it is genuinely, up there with probably like one of the best 100 films ever made, probably, because it's just great. It's just really great. Well written, well performed. The story's good. I just loved all the, the iconic moments weren't there for me to just go, oh yeah, that's that line. It worked, and it was like, oh, that was a good bit, It wasn't just like, oh, that was a good line that we all know. It was like, oh, that was a good bit in the film. So,
well, I was kind of thinking, he just said it!
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. You were like, oh, I got goosebumps, and he just said the...
Did I?
Yeah, you said something like that. And I was surprised at that.
Huh.
Because...
I am too.
I think you didn't know it was coming. I think that a line had already happened, and you were like, oh, it's that line. And then another one came, and you were like, oh, that's this as well? And so, yeah.
No, I can't remember 2 lines, but...
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Because I can't remember the line, but I just remember your reaction saying that line as well. And
okay.
Yeah, it's a great film. What do you think?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I'd watch it again at some point.
Yeah, that's
and that says a lot.
Sure.
For one of those oldies, yeah, I really liked it. And it's now cool that we've seen Harry Met Sally, When Harry Met Sally, and we
the last film.
kind of get the link there in, in that scene. So that's cool.
Yeah, because when we watched When Harry Met Sally, it was like, oh yeah, so we've actually seen Casablanca now, so it's a bit more... It's fun when that happens in a film or whatever, where they talk about something or it's from another film, and you know what it is, you feel a bit more involved in it. So that was cool. But there's not much to say about Casablanca other than it's as great as people say it is. Is it a film you must see before you die?
Yes.
Yeah? And why?
Because it's a classic. It's just one of those movies you gotta see.
And are you saying that just because it's a classic, or just because or is it a really good film as well? Is it the status, or a little bit of both?
It's mostly the status.
Yeah.
It wasn't like to me, it wasn't like, wow, what a movie.
Yeah.
It was surprising how much I liked it. It's not one of the best movies I've seen.
Yeah.
But it's the status of it, really. It's like, if you get to meet Michael Jackson, you know, you gotta go see him even if you don't like him.
Wow. I was not expecting that reference.
Even though, you know, you can't do that anymore. Let's just say a different celebrity. If you get to see a celebrity that's like huge and everybody knows about him or her, you gotta go see him or her, even though you're like, well, at least I've seen her. You know?
I suppose. But
not that I didn't like the movie, but even if you don't like it, at least you can say you've seen it.
Yeah.
The battery's going out.
I know, the battery's going out. Yeah, for me it is a film must see before you die. It's great. I kind of agree with you. It wasn't like, wow, that was amazing, but I did love it.
Yeah.
And I would say like a film like Gone with the Wind, I'd say is a better classic because I was emotionally involved in the characters in the film.
I preferred Casablanca.
Yeah, and really?
Gone with the Wind was so long. I don't think I'm ever.
It was, but it was more of an experience, I suppose, and that's yes, interesting.
But that is mainly the status, I think.
That's interesting that you wouldn't watch Gone with the Wind again, but you would watch Casablanca again. So.
Maybe in 2 parts. We don't have time to discuss this because the battery.
I know the battery's great. Yeah, but I'm just Casablanca's great, but you know it's a different kind of great.
Yep.
I love the mood of it.
Yeah.
That's the mood is the best thing about it, I think. And thank you for watching.
Yeah.
And thank you for watching.
Yeah.
See, we've done it, and the battery's still going, so
yeah,
you can.
We'll turn it off before it goes.
I can let it run out.
Maybe we'll delete everything.
It won't delete everything. Let's sit here and watch it.
I'm gonna go cook now.
Okay, then go cook.
I'm not gonna go sit here and watch the battery die.
Why not?
Let's just watch this paint.